Hello and welcome back to the best professional wrestling and sports podcast to come through your speakers. It is the Ace and the Whole podcast. And I've got some sad news today. I really do appreciate all of you coming to mourn the loss. The loss of something that was very near and very dear. Something that honestly meant a lot to all of us here at the podcast. It was great. It was a great thing. And now it's dead. It's been taken from us. So I really do appreciate all of you coming out and taking your time to pay your respects to what has passed. The two with me, I really do appreciate you two being here to help mourn the loss.
And the only reason it's dead is because it's in my hands and no one else is ever holding it ever again, baby. You're damn right. The Forever Champ is back. Perfect card.
Shit.
Perfect card, beginning to end. Even if they had that call-out match, I still would have gotten that right because CM Punk was there. No one wanted to believe it. No one thought it could be done, and it was done. We will definitely be diving headfirst into that, as well as the rest of the Survivor Series card, which was fantastic. We're going to talk about Randy Orton's return. We're going to talk about CM Punk's return. And we're already jumping the gun. We're going to be talking about Royal Rumble speculations, but that's not all. Also going to be talking about All Elite Wrestling for the first time, what feels like forever. We're going to be talking about the ratings. They're kind of in a tailspin, but not really. It's that they go down one week and they're up the next week. I don't know. But one thing that certainly did not help with their ratings was trying to go head-to-head with Survivor Series. Don't know why they tried to do that, but they did. A couple other AEW things. QT Marshall leaving AEW. More on that to come later. MJF also is legit hurt. More on that as well. Severity of the injury, all that. More speculation on our end, however, for AEW. Who is the devil? Find out our speculations later. And we will also be covering New Japan. World Tag League is going on. We're going to discuss the standings. Eli is going to help break down what's been happening so far and what to keep an eye on. But, without further ado, Eli, you're going to go second. Cliff, how does it feel to lose?
I just want it to be known that in my championship reign's dying embers, I gave the greatest gift I could ever give to any of you with the best return possible. Ron the Truth Killings is back on WWE TV. Good old R-Truth made an appearance. Everybody give me a ruffle shuffle.
A lot of great returns at Survivor Series. I wrote down SS and I keep wanting to say SummerSlam, but it's the end of November, so that's not really working too well.
It's not what came to my mind.
I also wanted to point out real quick. We had Stephanie McMahon in the crowd. Her first real big public appearance at a WWE event since she left the company.
That is true.
So she was in the crowd for the women's WarGames. So
and
it's really nice to see her.
was at Raw tonight as well. I don't know why.
Yes,
but
she was.
She was there.
Yeah. Apparently, she didn't know AJ was on SmackDown or something.
Well, she saw Rockstar Spud, Chelsea Green, pretty much a lot of the TNA. The people that spent quite a while in TNA, she posted a picture with them. Eli, how are we feeling? Another title opportunity, another loss.
It's like he never left, Eli. I don't know.
Hey, I was biding my time. I was waiting for that next WWE pay-per-view. I am ungodly at WWE pay-per-views. I don't know what it is. WrestleMania, I won the title, began the forever reign, took it back at Survivor Series, not SummerSlam, Survivor Series. Have I lost at a WWE pay-per-view yet? I had to, right?
I don't think you've lost, but I think you've tied. I know you've tied.
Mania. It was
won
Mania
it at
Rumble.
Mania.
I won it.
I lost
won it
one
at
of those
Mania.
two. I don't have my
because he
book
won
on
at
me.
Rumble because I had the perfect card, but he won because he had the numbers.
I don't have my book on me. I can't look back.
So if he lost it, no, I think he lost at Backlash, right?
No.
Or Payback or whatever it is.
I gotta get something. Hang on.
I don't think so. I think you're undefeated at WWE pay-per-views.
All I'm saying is, if we even have to think about it, That just means
'Cause,
my
like-
greatness is unquestioned. You know, there
So
was a lot of talk. There was a lot of talk from your camp over the past few weeks of how you're the greatest champion in the history of the podcast. The last I checked, your reign was nowhere near as long as mine.
Well,
We
yeah,
just
but you look at
thinking you
the
lost
actual
Crown
defenses
Jewel.
I had. Oh, you did lose Crown Jewel.
Oh,
You
yeah,
did
because I
lose a
picked
crown
LA
jewel.
Knight. Because you guys wanted to turn your backs on him. He finally gets his main event shot, and you guys say, nah, I'm going to take the tribal cuck, as Eli would call him. I'll acknowledge him. My tribal chief, Roman Reigns.
Right after you called him the tribal cuck.
I said as Eli would call him. Not me. I'm classier than that.
You know what? Never be better than the tribal queef sign.
You think Roman eats corn the long way?
I bet Roman does eat corn the long way.
Nah, for real. The entire bloodline eat corn the long way.
Not Jay, though. Not Jay, though.
Nah, Jay eats corn the long way.
You think so?
Yes.
Even though he's cool now?
Nah, he ain't cool now. What do you mean?
Main event Jay Uso.
Man, he's still just Little J. That's all he is. That's all he'll ever be is Little J. He'll never be Roman Reigns. He'll just always be Little J. I don't know why I got you guys over on this screen. Hold on, give me a second. There we go. Now it looks like I'm actually talking to the camera.
Eli just decided to just beat up his entire desk when he came back.
No.
I don't blame him.
No.
I'd be pretty pissed if I lost too.
I said I had to get something.
I mean, you've been pissed when you've lost before, so you know what the taste of defeat will do to you.
I had to get my prediction
I
card
can't recall a time I've been pissed when I've lost.
out of a certain object here.
I'm so glad he decided to do this in the middle of us recording rather than get it ready.
I'm sorry, I
Before
wasn't
we started
expecting you
recording.
to question if you've lost the WWE pay-per-view or not. Which, looking back, I can only see Crown Jewel being the only one you've lost.
And that's because you guys turned your backs on LA Knight. LA Knight,
'Cause-
yeah.
We tied.
Yeah.
We tied Money in the Bank.
Right here, baby.
There's been a lot of ties.
The entire pod on my back. Go ahead, hop in the backpack, baby. The best host, the best champ. And you just late because we're going to have to record a sports podcast here soon. That way I can take that title from you as well. And then retire.
Over my cold, dead body. This is getting buried with me. But you do realize the next pay-per-view is World's End, right?
When is
We got
that?
an AEW pay-per-view. It's in December. And you know what happens when you're the champ at AEW
That's
pay-per-views?
plenty of time, baby. Hey, I've defended
Eli, it's your time to shine, buddy.
I've defended at least one AEW pay-per-view.
Yes, however, that is how Eli got his incredibly short reigns. Was at AEW pay-per-views.
You know, Eli can also use that Ace in the Bank to challenge you to a parlay whenever he wants to.
Yeah, but he's not gonna waste it on this.
Get that ring away from you. And I know quite a few upcoming sports events that are for sure locks. So
You know what's really funny?
might be a little discussion amongst
Is that you really are deflecting it now. It's almost like you're scared of him. You're almost scared of him and his Japan knowledge.
It's
I'm
almost
not
like
scared
I've
of
tied
shit,
him
bro.
the most out of the two of us, Cliff.
No, I know. I am aware.
It's almost
I am
like
completely
I
aware.
only lost by 1 point last night, being
You're always
the
the
Santos and
bridesmaid,
Lee
never
that
the
you
bride.
had to. You wanted to. Let me rephrase this. You wanted to redo. Thank you. Fucking that.
Always the bridesmaid, never the bride. Go
Uh-huh.
ahead and cry your tears. Sad sweetheart of the rodeo. What you fucking rodeo clown. Whatever you wanna say, it doesn't matter. All right.
So wait, this makes Eli the William Regal. What are you?
No, he's the wise man.
No, he's William Regal.
He's the
Oh, he never won the
self-proclaimed
big
wise
one.
man.
He's never won the big one, so that makes him William Regal.
But he has won the big one. Just, he's Kane. He's the Kane of the podcast.
Oh no!
Twice.
Isn't he?
He's literally the Kane of the podcast.
Eli, say something now, or you're just gonna be known as that. Come on,
I was
man.
ready to say, I was waiting for him to pipe up and maybe say something, but Kane is one of the all-time greats, but not as good as me, and sure as hell, not as good as Randy Orton, who returned at Survivor Series WarGames. Hell of a pay-per-view, in my opinion. You had 3 of the biggest returns in WWE all year. You had Randy Orton, CM Punk, and then R-Truth, who follows me on Twitter, by the way, just saying. And so, you kicked off WarGames with the women's match, which in turn the Faces won. They pinned Bayley. After that, I'm trying to run through in my head, because it was only 5 matches. After that was the Santos and Dragon Lee match. Santos won pretty handily. Was that after the... I'm going to have to look it up. I'm trying to remember.
Well, here, you keep talking.
Yeah, I was just trying to remember in what order they went.
While we're looking this up, can I quickly say
Gunther
something?
and Miz. Yeah.
About Randy Orton. His wife went live on Instagram during the entrances, completely ruining any build up to people who have access to Instagram.
Or maybe just don't follow his wife.
I don't follow his wife, but Twitter had it going all over, so people who also had access to Twitter saw it too.
Stay off Twitter during the shows.
Okay, I'm not expecting, somebody's wife who's been in the industry how long to live stream from the front row. Kind of a
Is that it?
no-brainer.
Don't drop your sentence off like mid-sentence. I've actually had a talk with Randy Orton's wife when we were in actually Fastlane, and when it was in Columbus, Ohio. I think back in 2018, it was the 6-pack challenge for the WWE Championship. And she was front row, and that was when Randy Orton became a Grand Slam champion because he won the U.S. title. So she came in and she walked right by us, had a nice little conversation. Pretty nice lady. Anyway, back to the main subject. WarGames. Kicking off the show was the women's WarGames match. We'll get into the weeds after we read off the results. Like I said, Faces won. They pinned Bayley. After that, you had Gunther beating The Miz. You had Santos Escobar beating Dragon Lee. Rhea Ripley retaining over Zoe Stark. And the Faces, Team Orton, whatever you want to call them, defeated Judgment Day by pinfall. Judgment Day and Drew McIntyre. So, going back to the top women's WarGames match, you had Bianca Belair, Charlotte Flair, Shotzi, and Becky Lynch defeating Damage Control, which is Bayley, Asuka, Io Sky, and Kairi Sane by pinfall. And this was something I talked about with Chad, actually. A little Chad plug there.
There's a Chad sighting. Chad sighting.
Both of these WarGames, and I said to you guys, both of these WarGame matches had the opposite problems. So, and what I mean by that is, they weren't problems. It was a great match regardless. It was just something I noticed, was that with the women, it was clunky once everybody got into the ring. Sorry, I was trying to remember. I'm trying to compartmentalize here. It's been a long day. The match was clunky once everybody got in the ring. It wasn't clunky like when they were coming out, like after the 5 minutes, boom, 3 minutes, boom. That was fine. Once everybody got into the cage and the WarGames actually started, it got hella clunky really fast. And I think it's just crazy how that happens. And then later in the men's WarGames match, it's the exact opposite. It was clunky throughout the beginning stages, and then once everybody got in there, it was fun. I don't get it. Not to mention the timer on the women's match was god awful. I feel like Asuka was in the cage for 15 minutes. I actually started timing it on my phone for the men's match. They went early one time, and then they were a minute and a half late on another one. So I just quit fucking doing it. I just quit paying attention.
Well, you see, time in kayfabe just goes at different speeds.
I don't know.
Is that
Best spot
the
of the
explanation?
night was doing that match, though. The women's
Which
WarGames
one?
match. Freaking trash can EO off the top.
Bro,
with the trash can almost
I'm sick of
engulfed
that.
her completely.
I'm sick of that, honestly.
I don't care. I
I'm
enjoyed
sick
it.
of that.
I enjoyed watching the
Like,
trash can
I guess sick of
essentially
it.
jump off the
Isn't-
top.
I guess sick of it isn't exactly what I mean, but like
It
you
is
can only
kind of
see it so
overdone.
many. Yeah, you can only see it so many times before you're like, oh, like that's cool, but we've already seen it 2 other times in the 2 other WarGames matches you were in.
Yeah.
What if she just misses one of these times? Will that reinvigorate it for you, Austin? If she just misses?
Why didn't we get an insane elbow off the top of the cage? We got a flare moonsault. We didn't get an elbow.
Yeah, that she
That's a
kicked
good
EO
question.
in the head with the knee. Or hit EO in the head with the knee on.
Well, not to mention, it was like 10 minutes into the match, and Becky Lynch was already busted wide open,
Shotzi
bleeding
got busted,
everywhere.
too.
And she was, yeah, hers
Well,
was towards the end of the match though. But
well,
like
don't
Becky
worry.
was out.
Becky doesn't need the brain for smarts because she's as if you've seen the Jeopardy meme, you understand where I'm getting at here.
Can we also just
But,
point
like,
out that the champ continuously said that Bailey wasn't going to be the one that ate the pin? Oh, I'm sorry. Were you speaking there, champ? That Cliff continuously said that Bailey wasn't going to eat the pin, that it wasn't going to be Bailey. They don't put Bailey into the match to have her eat the pin and everything. Who ate the pin, Cliff?
I don't know. I didn't watch it.
He even said who
You
the
told me you
fuck
didn't
got
watch it.
pinned.
No, I didn't.
He stated
I was
who got
busy.
pinned.
Oh, sorry.
Bad look for you. Bad look for the podcast overall, honestly. Bro can't even watch what we're talking about. And this was our
you watched
champ.
an AEW pay-per-view, Austin?
This was our champ.
I'm sorry.
This
me
is
and
our
Austin
champ.
stay tuned
When was the
to
last time you
Twitter
watched the
and
AEW
results.
pay-per-views?
I
You're
can
telling
defend
me
him
you
on
sit
that
down
one.
and you pay the $70 to watch that shit?
I don't
Hell
pay it,
no.
but I watch it. I don't pay
At
it,
least,
but I
at
definitely
least
watch
I
it.
look up. At least I look up and stay up to date on the fucking results. At least I know who pins who.
Oh yeah, I turned off Raw again.
Okay.
Damn it.
That's crazy. Anyway, it was a great match. It was a great opener, and it was the most viewed opener since WrestleMania, which is massive.
We also
And
shit
like,
on Cliff
That's
for
that's
that
a
too.
big deal.
Yeah, you want to shit on me, Eli? Did I not say they were going to open? And did I not say they were going to be great?
It was
So,
the best match
yeah.
of the night. Yeah, no.
Ooh.
Ooh.
What? I'm sorry. I did not enjoy the men's match, but I can get into why when we get to that. If we already passed it, fuck.
Well, we haven't passed it because it's at the end of the show.
What I
We're
thought.
actually going in chronological order here. After that, you had Gunther winning over The
That was a good
Miz.
match.
Yes, The Miz got pinned, Cliff. It was a singles match. Actually, Miz didn't get pinned. He didn't get pinned. He got submitted. Did you know that? No, you didn't. You said you figured. You figured.
That was a
You
good
didn't
match.
even know he got submitted. You know what he got submitted by?
The Lion Tamer.
Oh, at least you know that.
Yeah.
Bro took a wild guess and fucking got it right.
No, I saw the clip on Twitter. I just didn't watch it live.
That was a good match. I didn't think that match was bad at all. It definitely over delivered. I think
Miz had me
people today.
believing.
Like I said, I was like, damn. I kind of because how they made that promo package. I was like, damn. I kind of feel like the Miz might win, but I think people have become so complacent with the Miz just not doing anything that when he actually does something, it's like earth shattering, like a Hurricanrana. Fucking Pop was outrageous for a Hurricanrana from the Miz.
The
It's just
tilt-a-whirl
crazy
DDT.
to me. Yeah, no shit. The Miz's bag is deep. He just never goes there because he doesn't want to fucking end up retired in 10 years.
And that's the thing. He used to hit those all the time. When he hit the Wizard of Oz a couple months back, everybody was, oh, wow, he did it.
I forgot that's what that was called.
That is what that's called.
I forgot that it was called the Wizard of Oz.
When he hit that, everybody lost their shit again because, oh, Miz is doing... He's done it. But he's also watched these wrestlers who have done these moves have to retire early.
And that's something, like, this goes all the way back to his Talking Smack segment with Daniel Bryan. He's like, you want to throw your body around and you're retired. I'm still out here doing it night in and night out because I'm fucking smart with my body. And I think people are so accustomed to the AEW style now. Like they want Darby Allin to throw his fucking spine onto the apron 6 times a match. They want that Kevin Owens spot. They want that Kevin Owens spot where they throw his head back into the steel steps, which I don't know how he hasn't gotten hurt doing yet, but he does it flawlessly. They're so accustomed to just breaking their bodies left and right that when someone is boring, it's solely because they're doing their job to the best of their ability without being crippled by the time they're 55. Why do you think Ric Flair's still able to walk around and wrestle? His ass wasn't doing fucking high-flying shit. He wasn't throwing his spine on the apron every night. He was getting hit and doing a little funny flop into the middle of the ring.
It's all good until whatever starts playing in your head. Then you know you've gotten too far.
Our Lady Peace.
Yeah, until the Bowflex starts doing a little talking. That's when you know you got a little too far.
Hey, listen, sometimes you just need some Our Lady Peace. It's okay.
But, rotating back to Gunther v. Miz, like I said, I thought it was kind of a dark horse to kind of steal the show, and I think it kind of did that. I thought it was a really well put together match. I thought it was good.
They just showed highlights of it on Raw.
I really do think that
as we're talking about,
like you said, it overperformed. It was really good. It was very entertaining. It did the job very well of the Miz, being someone who can cheat, and the fans love it. And yeah, it's good.
Well, no other qualms about that. Moving on, Santos Escobar versus Dragon Lee. Dragon Lee fell to Santos Escobar via pinfall. The match served its purpose. I don't know what else you want me to say. It was a 7-minute match.
You have two legendary luchadors from legendary luchador families. Can't dispute it. Santos Escobar comes from El Fantasma, who has brother, I can't remember, it's Angel something. His cousin, amazing. Then you have Dragon Lee, who's... No. His uncle, I can't remember how to pronounce it. It's Angel something something something. I just saw it when I was going through everything. And then you have Dragon Lee, whose brothers are Roosh.
Excuse me.
You have Juristico.
I didn't know that.
And then their father, who is a lucha legend, and I can't pronounce his name, so I'm not even going to try. You have two amazing luchadors in the ring. And you give a match that was worthy of Ric Flair walking across the mat for 7 minutes. It was not high-paced action that either of them could have delivered. It was slow. I'm not going to say sloppy, but it was definitely... It was there. And I just don't...
Definitely
I don't understand how you get those two...
best work.
Exactly. I don't understand how you get either of those two in the ring and you go, let's have them slowly attack each other the whole match. That's a great idea.
Well, I mean, that's just the fucking WWE formula. You get two lucha guys in there, and you expect them to do lucha things, and they don't do lucha things. You get like one springboard DDT, and that's it.
Yeah.
Well, there was a time they were on the turnbuckles, and it was I think it was a hurricanrana from the top rope. And they stood there for a little bit. I mean, they're just standing there. And standing there. And standing there. And then the move hits. They've done this so many times. It's not new to them. And it was so... I don't know. I
didn't realize his dad was Angel de la Muerte.
Uncle. His dad
Uncle,
is El Fantasma.
But yeah, no, I didn't know his dad was the Angel of Death. Sorry, his uncle was the Angel of Death.
Mm-hmm.
That is crazy to think about.
Like, 2 legendary luchador lines. 2 legendary luchadors in their own right before coming to the E, and it's fucking stupid on what happened.
You want to know a fun fact about him real quick? Santos Escobar was the one to lead the lawsuit against Lucha Underground. That ended
Fuck
Lucha
him.
Underground.
Fuck him. We hate Santos Escobar now. Fuck him.
You do.
No, fuck him, bro. First you beat up Carlito. Now I find out you're the one that took down Lucha Underground. Kiss my ass, Santos. Fuck you.
He's the one that got you the win.
Don't give a shit. Fuck him. He took away the best wrestling weekly program that we've seen in the past like 20 years.
MLW tried bringing it back.
I would say prime WCW.
I'd probably say the Raw's War era.
Yeah.
The Attitude Era and WCW. Don't sit there and tell me that 2008 was good, because everyone needs to realize that 2008 was dog shit.
I wasn't gonna say 2008.
and that's
2008 was
bro,
shit.
Don't give me that look. Go look at the roster in 2008. People say it was so deep. It was not deep. You had Lance Cade and Trevor Murdoch as your tag team champions. Don't give me that shit.
Your Intercontinental Champion was Carlito, majority of the time.
We're talking Deuce and Domino.
Hey,
All's
that's
Mahoney.
some hate towards a team that doesn't deserve it.
Big Daddy V.
Hey, their best work was not in WWE. It was not with Deuce and Domino. I can tell you that.
Deuce and Domino were not bad. Fuck you.
One of them motherfuckers was Jimmy Snuka Jr. Alright? I don't want to hear it.
Oh, my favorite, Colin Delaney.
Exactly, bro. I hit when you was Colin Delaney, I'm pretty sure,
You
for
did,
Guess the Wrestler.
Yeah. Gavin Spears. Not Sean Spears, Gavin Spears.
The ladder man.
Technically Jim Duggan. He made some appearances.
Yeah,
He did.
he was a legend in
This
the
was also the same time.
PlayStation game.
Kenny
This
Dykstra.
is also the same time period as the illegitimate son angle. I just also want to throw that out there.
DX returning.
Paul Burchill. Let's see here. Shannon Moore. Jeff Hardy's stoner friend, Shannon Moore.
Jeff Hardy's stoner friend. Shouts out.
Let's see here. What's some other notable 2008? Val
Shannon
Venus
Moore was good in TNA with Ink.
And my-
Hello, ladies.
and the favorite one, Vladimir Kozlov.
Snitsky and Mike
He's
Knox
back
were
in.
there
He's
too.
back in TNA now.
Yes, he is. Anyway, that was
Val
the 08
Venus-
roster in a nutshell. That was the 08 roster mid card. So just imagine
Yeah.
that,
Oh
if
wait,
you will.
isn't that when
I think that was,
Snitsky punt kicked a baby doll?
it was around that time. It was somewhere in there.
I think that was technically 07, but we're splitting hairs at that point.
When Lita
Yeah,
and
it all runs
Kane
together.
were married.
It's just a ruthless aggression era.
Ugh.
Super Cena wins,
Nope.
lol.
Val Venus getting his PP saved.
Oh, choppy PP.
Yeah,
Choppy,
choppy
choppy.
your PP. And Deadlock brought this up, and I thought it was such a good point. So, like, how they explained how he didn't get his penis chopped off was because it was soft. Why do they not just write in that Val Venus has this giant, unbreakable dick? Why don't they do that?
About this?
Like, well, you brought it up. You brought up Val Venus. I don't understand why they don't write in that it was so big and powerful that it broke the sword. Why? That would have been so much better than, oh yeah, It was flaccid, so it didn't get chopped off. What was it? So instead of making it like outrageous and going in the path of I'm a choppy your pee-pee, they get to that point and then they're like, oh, we should probably keep it in somewhat real-ish lands. No, that's just terrible. Terrible booking.
So, Eli,
Terrible
what do you give
story
Survivor Series on the grading scale?
We haven't even gotten to
Haven't
Rhea
even
Ripley
gotten
and
through.
Zoe Stark yet.
We're already talking about choppy pee-pee.
Well,
We haven't even gotten to the match
Another
that I was ready
match-
to rant about.
yeah, another match that served its purpose. It wasn't a barn burner, but it was never going to be. Zoe Stark lost to Rhea Ripley. Mommy retains the Women's World
Good choice.
Championship.
Right choice.
It was a safe match. I mean, it's what everybody expected. I'm gonna wait to get to our Royal Rumble speculations as to speculating on Rhea Ripley's title reign, but for now, it's as safe of a match as you could ask for. I'm not gonna say it was a nothing match, but they really built Zoe Stark up, like on the pre-show and in the match. They really did the best that they could to try and build her up as a formidable opponent to Rhea Ripley.
All right, Eli, are you going to go? Can I get my words in first before you go?
Mm-hmm.
It was a match that served its purpose. It gave Mommy something to do. It kept Mommy looking strong. It did the job. Let's see who's going to win the Rumble and challenge Mommy.
Kept Mommy looking good too. Yeah.
I like how she did her hair. That was really nice.
The mullet. I wasn't really fucking with the mullet. I liked the gear. I thought the gear was good, the white and black.
Mm-hmm. Go
The
ahead,
makeup
Eli.
was pretty good too. Well, after that was the 34-minute slugfest of the men's WarGames match. I thought you were going to rant about the men's WarGames match, not Zoe Stark.
Nope. I want to...
Oh, well.
It's... First and foremost, the pre-show
avoid
served its
yelling?
purpose.
Can we avoid yelling?
I'm calm. Because at this point,
That doesn't mean anything.
Apparently,
you flip the switch whenever you want to.
I am the only human being in existence that thinks Zoe Stark doesn't need this big damn push because she can't do shit with the push. The beginning of the match, they had her completely on the up and up in the match. Just to turn around mid-match and end the match, having her get the shit beat out of her. Repeatedly. And then kicking out of moves Rhea Ripley has done to partially beat people. I don't...
How do you partially beat somebody?
Sorry. To beat people of better caliber than Zoe Stark. She's gotten 3 counts with these moves. And yet, when you put it against Zoe Stark, who became this Hulk Hogan figure for the match, with kickouts at 1 and 2.
I don't like that.
It's so... They had a kicking out at 1 after getting turnbuckle on the outside ring post thrown, barricade, table, a bunch of shit hit into her, and she kicks out at 1. How? She gets hit with powerful moves, she kicks out at 1. And then you continue the match, she gets beat up more, kicks out at 2. I mean, the only thing that I was waiting for was her to get hit with the riptide, and she kicks out at 2.5. The whole time, I was waiting for it. I've said it, and I really want to get into my 4 horsemen or the Mount Rushmore of men wrestlers that I think are absolute shit, but we can do that on a later day. I've already done my hated list, actually. Go back to that and you'll find it. Ronda Rousey, Saraya, Zoe fucking Stark, and it's changed. One of them has changed off, and I'm replacing it because
who
at
was
this
it
point,
originally?
It's been one that's been a revolving door, and I've had a bunch of different people in it. No, It was. I had Jade up there for a while. I did have Jade. I'm going to give her the benefit of the doubt when she pops back up on television that it's going to be great. It's going to be good. She can do it. They have her off time because she's learning how to do promos and everything. It's going to be great. It's going to be great. Nia Jax, on the other hand...
Something I thought was funny was that Triple H pretty much just said AEW didn't teach her anything, so they're having to build her from the ground up.
Exactly.
He said that without saying that in the press conference.
Exactly.
I think someone asked, like, hey, where's Jade? What is she doing? They're like, oh, well, we're basically building her from the ground up because she didn't learn anything.
And I hope that she has the best damn career ever with that. So I'm putting Nia Jax for sure at number 4. But Zoe Starks is on there. Zoe Stark has not done anything to earn a main event spot or a women's championship spot ever. What has she done? Team up with Trish Stratus? How would that go? How was that rivalry with her? What has she done in NXT? Be NXT Tag Team Champion and turn on a partner immediately just to get injured? Repeatedly? In big match setups? What has she done in her career in WWE to be put in a spot you could have given anybody else in the women's division against Rhea Ripley and still build up Rhea Ripley? You could have put her against Shayna Baszler and it would have been an absolute barn burner. Absolute amazing match one-on-one. You could have put her against Raquel Rodriguez, another barn burner. Instead, we get Zoe Stark, and I don't... Maybe I'm just crazy. Maybe she's gonna pull off an amazing feat and prove me wrong eventually. I don't know. I just don't think that she has all the tools as of this point to be a major player in the women's division. And they don't need to shove her into the slot like she is.
I don't think anyone is disagreeing with you. I just think they don't really have a whole lot of people left to feed her. Like, that's another
she kind of ran through everybody. So
it's not going to be a problem for too much longer, but we can talk about that later. Finally, the men's WarGames match, Cody Rhodes, Seth freaking Rollins, Jey Uso, Sami Zayn, and returning Randy Orton defeated the Judgment Day, which is Damian Priest, Finn Balor, Dirty Dominic Mysterio, JD McDonough, and Drew McIntyre. Did I say Drew McIntyre twice? I think you said
JD. No, you didn't say JD McDonough.
No, I said JD McDonough.
I think that's what you said, and you thought you said Drew. I don't think you said Drew McIntyre twice.
I wasn't sure if I mixed up Damian Priest and Drew McIntyre. I don't know. But anyway, like I said earlier, this was quite the opposite of the women's match. It was clunky up until everyone was in the cage, then it flowed nice and smoothly into the Randy Orton return, and then the subsequent blowing up of Randy Orton because he hit 2 moves and he was already out of breath. He was drenched in sweat. And then he hit...
Sorry, breaking... Next week on Raw, Jey Uso will be facing Seth Rollins for the World Heavyweight Championship. And Drew just turned heel finally.
I'm so confused. Anyway,
I mean, Randy Orton hit the massive RKO on JD McDonough. Good sport, JD McDonough, taking that like a champ.
Took it right on the chin too. There was no give in that.
I know, Eli. You got some things to say about the WarGames match. So
I mean, it was a really good match. It was so... I'm trying to think of the best way of describing it without going a long period of ranting. It was a great match, honestly. Great match. I don't think that it really beat the women's WarGames match, and maybe that's a hot take of the pay-per-view. I don't know. I just don't think that it was really better. I think compared to the women's match where we said and agreed that until the end, it wasn't clunky. I felt like it was very slow-paced going through this match. I felt very... Watching them kind of moving around, you kind of knew what was happening, what was going to happen. There was no spontaneity, I guess. Everything just felt extra forced and scripted out the whole way through the match. And there was no time I was like, oh yeah, oh no, this happened, instead of what I thought was going to happen. Instead, it was, okay, Randy Orton's going to be the last one. Yep, Drew just went in. Dominic's last. Bet you they're going to... Oh, yep, Seth just went through the table. They're going to end up probably doing a cash-in spot eventually. Yep, there it is. It was very scripted all the way through, where you didn't feel like there was a lot to it. Great match. All the way around. What followed is what followed. And we can get into that, but honestly, great match. Just, it felt very clumped together and very scripted out to where I didn't enjoy it as much. And I really wanted to. But man, it wasn't a Shinsuke versus CM Punk match, that's for sure.
In fact, it was not a Shinsuke versus CM Punk match because CM Punk didn't return until the end of the show! The Shinsuke Open Challenge never happened! Because that was just pure speculation for us, I guess. But, Cliff, did you have anything you want to say about the men's WarGames match?
Not really. I mean, I feel like it was a solid WarGames match. You know, probably could have seen a little bit more, but it was solid.
And this is the issue I think they're going to start running into with the WarGames match, is finding ways to keep it like fresh and new and relevant. Because that's why they did away with all the gimmick pay-per-views. Because if you see a Hell in a Cell at least once a year, every year, where an entire pay-per-view, that's the entire gimmick, I mean, how fresh is it going to be? The only reason the Elimination Chamber is still around is because they find ways to reinvent it and make it better. And there's actual stakes to the match.
Yeah, it's like the Rumble.
In the WarGames matches, I feel like there's no real stakes at place. Ever. Except when the Undisputed Era put all their titles on the line.
That was a really good idea.
That was the only time there was ever really any stakes to any WarGames match. That's my big issue, is like, it's a great match idea. Yes. Does it always deliver? Mostly. But why are we having this match other than these dudes just don't like each other? I get that that's the kind of the entire point, but there has to be some kind of stakes here. Like, the Judgment Day could have put up the Money in the Bank and all the titles and everything. So, like, I just... They're going to have to find a way to reinvent it and make it fresh. Whatever that might be.
Yeah. I really hope that next year we get the real brand warfare back. I really hope they're heading that way with Aldis and Pierce. I really do hope so.
Because we can have a legitimate Survivor Series, Team Raw versus Team SmackDown, a women's WarGames match, Team Raw, Team SmackDown, men's WarGames match.
Yeah. And shit, make it elimination. Go ahead. I don't care.
I say that they make it for number 1 overall draft pick.
Like maybe
that was mine, or you get to pick any wrestler from the other roster, and the other roster can't do anything about it. Like, you have Cody on Raw, SmackDown wins, they can take Cody. They could take the champion.
Maybe do the winning brand gets number 30 in the Rumbles.
You could do that too, but then
the Rumble is the next pay-per-view.
GM's favoriting. Then you could do a Battle Royal on that show and have the wrestlers fight it out, or a tournament.
The winner of that gets the number 30s.
Do a G1 for the
Look at us,
spot.
WWE. Hit us up. We got this.
I mean, I'm just saying, like, WarGames is great and all, but same thing as Io Sky's spot earlier. You can only watch it so many times before you're like, all right, how are they going to make this better? Or what else can they do to make this alive? Or freshen it up? Or make this the best match in the world? Because they have the best professional wrestler in the world.
You know what they got to do?
In the world, baby.
Yeah, R-Truth.
No. Yeah, R-Truth. No, you know what they got to do to make it the best in the world? A flying axe handle from the top.
Not
A flying
that
axe
shit.
handle would do them wonders.
not
Maybe,
the Las Vegas special.
It's all fun and games until one of them lights their hand on fire and punches somebody.
Not the flaming fist.
You got a flaming fist, but to make it Las
But
Vegas
no.
special,
We
you
had
punch the dick.
the like 6th return of CM Punk.
Oh yeah, that too.
No, not the 6th return, the 3rd return, right? Get it fucking right, dude.
This
There
man's gonna
was
show up tonight,
The original AEW.
go to AEW, and
There
then
was
New
the
Japan.
injured return AEW. There was the Fox AEW return. There was the return after he left, kissing Cena goodbye with the title. There's just been
The
so
Fox
many.
return.
When he
Fox
returned on
AEW
Talking
return.
Smack,
That wasn't AEW.
That's WWE,
You said
idiot.
AEW.
it's still a return. His gimmick
You
is
said
that he
AEW.
returns.
You said AEW. But guess
Well,
what? It doesn't matter because this is a conversation I had with Chad once again, and this is a conversation we need to have as well. Did CM Punk showing up overshadow everything else that happened on the
Yes.
card?
Yes.
And if so, was it warranted?
No.
It was. I think it was. I think it was. Because here's the thing.
You have
Everyone
me
knew
and
Randy
Cliff
was
agreeing.
returning. Everyone knew Randy was returning. There was no qualms, no bones about it. They said it was returning. And if you had any qualms about it, Eli's stalking his wife on social media put those to bed. So now you have all this. This is planned to happen. You have the biggest, and I mean this, biggest name in pro wrestling known all over the world. Don't give me that look. There is a reason why they wanted to get him. He is the biggest name in pro wrestling as of now. With him leaving AEW, will he come back to WWE? Will he not? We've heard he is. We've heard he isn't. We've heard he doesn't want to do pro wrestling anymore. We've heard he's training right now. They couldn't get their fucking facts straight, them being the media, which, fine, whatever, you are supplied with the information, but don't report on shit that you don't know for sure. But, beside that, he's bigger than Roman Reigns. He's bigger than Kenny Omega. He's bigger than Cody Rhodes. Because he's CM Punk and he's best in the world, and it was completely warranted for that to happen. They said that they wanted to wait on his return until the Royal Rumble. But they knew if they did that, word was going to get out, and it wasn't going to be a surprise anymore. The morning of the pay-per-view, there were no contracts signed from either party. That is how quick this happened. The week before, they weren't even talking. And then something happened. Triple H, CM Punk were talking. They got the contract signed hours before the pay-per-view. Not only that, they cleared out an entire section backstage when he eventually arrived to the arena, snuck him in, and brought him out. No one in WWE knew that this was happening. No one anywhere knew that this was happening. Triple H called the final 15 minutes of the entire show himself from production, just so no one knew this was happening. They wait to do this, it doesn't happen. They wait to do this, it's not as big of a deal. And I don't think it overshadowed anything. At all. In any aspect. Because people are still talking about Randy Orton, aren't they? People are still talking about Seth Rollins, aren't they? Seth Rollins and Jey Uso are main eventing Raw next week.
You want this one, Cliff?
It was warranted.
It wasn't warranted. At least that's not how I viewed it. Because you're telling every other person on that card that their wrestling didn't matter. You're telling every other person on that card that their wrestling didn't matter that night.
How?
Because him coming out last, that being such a beautiful returning hero's shot, and how big of a deal they made it. You're telling every other match on that card that you are less important than this one guy.
So then everyone else was
on the ramp and said nothing. Did nothing.
Oh, that's crazy, because Bray Wyatt did the exact same thing, and you all were eating that shit up.
Eli, you good?
Am I wrong? No, I'm not. Bro came out, he didn't say anything.
I ain't
don't
said
give me that
shit.
shit.
My point of view. Don't let me in this shit.
You motherfuckers ate that. So everything else that happened on that card before Bray Wyatt came out, that didn't matter.
I mean, it wasn't exactly a good card. I'm not gonna lie.
But it did matter because Bray Wyatt came out and nothing else mattered on that card at all.
We're not talking about the rest of that card anymore, are we? We're not talking about the fight pit or anything else that happened on that card anymore. You're talking about the Bray Wyatt return off of that card.
But what you're saying every little bit of wrestling that happened, every fan that attended to watch those matches beforehand, it doesn't matter. Because Bray Wyatt came out, he didn't say any words, he had his little funny characters out in the audience, and everything else doesn't matter. Because everyone ape shit. Because Bray Wyatt came out, looked at the camera, and blew out his lantern. Correct?
The difference is, I like Bray Wyatt.
So you're just a hater. You just don't want to fucking
I've admitted I'm a Punk hater ever since he got ever since the brawl out.
And this is something too that I think is crucial to look at. That shit the shit that happens in AEW doesn't happen in WWE. They have no leadership in AEW. The shit you do in AEW, you would get fined and suspended in WWE for doing that. You know what Tony Khan does? Handle it. Handle it yourselves. Tony Khan doesn't give a shit. He is not a good leader. He needs someone to keep that locker room in check. CM Punk showed up. He started holding people accountable. All of a sudden, he's a bad guy. That is all I'm saying. None of this would have happened if AEW had some semblance of leadership.
Well, here's
a
my
locker room
thing.
leader and a CEO leader. It doesn't matter.
There was no reports of anything before Punk got there, and there have been no reports after he got fired of anything happening backstage like that. So, it's real glass, cry me a river.
Yeah, and he held his ass accountable, did he not? He wanted to go out there, he tried to punk CM Punk on fucking worldwide television, and he made his ass pay for it, did he not? You do that shit in WWE, CM Punk wouldn't even have to get involved. His ass would be gone before he even hit the curtain.
Eli,
that's all I'm saying.
What's your stance? Because obviously my notes were not your notes.
My notes were not your notes completely. I don't stand from the point of view of
admit,
it made.
I've been a hater. So
well, me and Austin, you know, what we had a tag team of CM Punk and Sin Cara on WWE 12 for the longest time. Like, I've wrestled in video games. Yeah. Like,
what the fuck?
You know that I don't hate CM Punk.
All over my fucking computer.
One of my dad's favorite wrestlers is CM Punk. Of the newer. Because he has that old school mentality with wrestling. He has the old school in the ring. He's a student of the game. I'm not taking anything away from Punk. The comments I've said in the past are the brawl out and everything that's happened in AEW. I'm not putting that here. I'm not putting that here. I'm not stating that what's happened there is going to happen here because we know what's going to happen once something like that happens in WWE. You're fired. You're up Schitt's Creek without a paddle. You're fucked. There's no... What I'm saying right here is about as gray line as I could put it. Hearing from you and Cliff. And it's going to be 100% honest from me, the way I feel about it. You could have had WarGames end with them winning. Chicago goes out with nothing. You have Raw in Chicago, and you have Seth Rollins in the ring, or something happen in the ring, and you have CM Punk come out on Raw. Would have been just as easy.
But Raw wasn't...
Had they done it.
Raw wasn't in Chicago.
I know. Had they had Raw in Chicago. I understand why they have him.
Or is it?
Nashville.
Oh.
Which is why Dixie was there.
Okay.
Which is exactly why. So... You don't have it there, so you have them come out in Chicago. I understand that. From the point of view of production, point of view of getting viewers tuned in, you have it in Chicago. You're hoping CM Punk's going to come. Everybody was expecting it. Everybody was wanting. Is he going to? Is he not? Ryback, you're a piece of shit, first and foremost. Fuck you. Side tangent.
That's crazy. Ryback catching his strays right now.
He always catches
But-
strays on this podcast.
You have a night
That's
where Randy
foul.
Orton comes back. You have a night where it's everything there. And maybe it was the best night to put CM Punk there. I also think if it was serious enough to CM Punk to be coming back, not only at the pay-per-view, but to Monday Night Raw tonight, that a contract gets signed beforehand. That if it's
A
serious
contract is
between
signed.
both people before that show started, not just talk still back and forth and no contract being signed before he showed up into the arena. It's a contract signed for sure before. Because then you have Punk in the Royal Rumble. You have him show back up. Cody going all the way to the end.
was
And you
signed.
have him. You have that.
He did sign.
Because what would be a bigger pop besides him in Chicago than CM Punk number 30? Costing Cody Rhodes the chance to complete the story. That would be
Well, that's not going to happen.
one of the best things. My point of view on this is
But-
not that it ruins
but-
the rest of the show.
But like,
That it's CM Punk coming in to an environment that has essentially moved on from him. That has moved on from a lot of what he did back in the day, not what he has done recently. And a lot of these wrestlers are going to look at the AEW stuff. They're going to be looking at the things he said about WWE, that he has said about everything, the wrestlers in WWE, the management of WWE. And he's going to be walking through hellfire and brimstone with that. And I think you put a lot of these wrestlers in a position, if they didn't know he was coming back, truthfully didn't know he was coming back, you put them in a position of being with somebody that has shit-talked them for a long while now. As Michael Cole said, he's not been in WWE for over a decade, and that is over a decade of him being able to say shit, whatever the hell he wants to. And you put everybody back in that. Work or not, Seth has said things about him, and he has said things about Seth in interviews. There have been things said about many of the wrestlers by CM Punk, and towards CM Punk by many of the wrestlers. I think you create almost a volatile workplace with that. Maybe they're able to work it out. WWE has had history of stuff like this, signings and stuff, to where it gets worked out. And maybe that happens. Benefit of the doubt, it works out. I enjoyed CM Punk in WWE. I collected a lot of his action figures. I played as him in the games. He was one of my go-to for Universe mode. I will be spending out money on action figures of CM Punk for WWE. Hell yeah. Give me an ultimate straight edge superstar, straight edge CM Punk. Please. I would love it. As ECW champion, absolutely. I will pay out whatever I have to for that. But that's me being a fan and looking at it. As a fan, great, awesome. I also see WWE's point of view of this as, did it get people talking the whole time about if he will come in or not? Did it get people talking about Monday Night Raw tonight, announcing he was going to be coming back? If he says he's showing up to SmackDown, guess what? You're going to have people watching. And I feel like he only got pulled into that, and my point of it is there have been so many names built up on Raw and SmackDown. How many of those flames are going to be extinguished by CM Punk coming in? That is my main worry with this, is how many. Can you honestly say if he ends up on SmackDown, that it's not going to take some of the shine off of LA Knight? Because what if it does?
That is a really good point, actually. Oh, fuck.
Because that moves LA Knight out of the main
I
picture.
And I've seen that talk around too, is that, you know, Randy Orton's back, CM Punk's back. Where does this put LA Knight? which, of course, none of us have the answer. But we can sure speculate, just like we can speculate on the Royal Rumble. And I will give you my way too early, 2 months out, picks. Jade Cargill.
I'm writing it down. This is your predictions.
Cody Rhodes.
Jade and Cody. Got it. Those are your predictions.
I guarantee you, unless one of them die or get hurt, I'm still probably picking them later on, too. Because it's time Cody finishes this goddamn story and gets the title off Roman, bro. Please.
Somebody has to at this point. But I just don't want it to be Punk.
Unless they are going Rock and
God
Roman at
damn
40.
it.
Then that opens the door for CM Punk or LA Knight, or we finally get that main title Gunther run. That is the only thing that can change my pick, is if we for sure are getting Rock Roman at WrestleMania 40.
I don't want Rock and
women's
Punk too.
Women's is clear cut. There's a reason why they haven't put Jade on TV yet. She's got this aura. She's got this mystique around her. And they don't want to break that. Because it's hard to get that, and she has it. And they know if they put her on TV now and she cuts a shitty promo or has a not very good match, that entire aura, that entire mythicality that she has around her is just gone. So I think by the Rumble she'll be ready and she'll challenge Mommy, and she's gonna take the title off Mommy. Because I honestly don't see anyone else beating Mommy for the title. Nia Jax isn't gonna do it.
I see Becky.
And that's really no. I honestly think Jade Cargill is the only realistic opportunity.
It's the only one they haven't thrown at her.
Unless Mercedes Moné comes back to WWE. Which I'm not gonna say, but there has been a little murmur. There's been a little
trimmer. See, Cliff's a Punk hater. I'm a Mercedes Moné hater, just because I think she thinks that she's all that, and please tell me I'm all wrong. What the fuck has she done?
Well, she apparently had one of the best matches of the year at Battle of the Valley.
Yes, she did.
Bullshit. I watched that match. Fuck that. No.
Do you just not like good professional wrestling, Eli?
I do, but there was a lot better. It's a freaking card that was full of shit, essentially. If I'm remembering the card correctly. And no. God, no. Was that the match against Willow? Or was that the match against...
who she faced.
I think it was
Willow. Was that the match against Willow, which she got injured doing? Or the match against... that might be the match against Kyrie. Or Mayu Iwatani. I mean, I just don't... What has she done? Did she ever win the NXT Women's Championship? I know she won the Women's Tag. She beat SmackDown
Kyrie.
Women's Champion and continuously lost it. Okay, so it started the reign of... Who the hell did she defend it against?
I don't...
What did she do with that belt?
She defended against AZM and Hazuki, and then she lost it to Mayu Iwatani, and then she beat Stephanie Vaquer, I don't know how you say that, and then she also lost to Willow Nightingale.
But yes, Eli, she did win the NXT Women's Championship and the Raw Women's Championship.
Okay, so...
And the SmackDown Women's Championship.
And the SmackDown Women's Championship. And who did she lose both of those to?
I don't know.
I believe it was Charlotte each time.
That makes sense. That's how the whole Force Woman square works.
That sounds about right.
There's nothing to her name, though. Besides what happened with her and Trinity leaving the company. And okay, you believe in something, stand up for it. All for it. Completely.
When she got
if
match
the
of
women's
the year
division
in
is getting treated like trash, and you're a part of that, that was against Bayley in the Iron Woman match.
Takeover Respect.
NXT Takeover?
Yep.
That was a great match. That is one match I can give her. She didn't win that, though. She lost to Bayley. Bayley won the NXT Women's Championship. If I remember correctly.
I fucking hate the Bailey to
The
belly.
Bailey to belly.
I hate that shit so much. I hate that shit so much.
I think that's how she won
I
the match,
hate it.
too.
Yeah.
With a passion. That's why
It
I
was a
brought it
Bailey
up.
to belly. It was an avalanche Bailey to belly. It was from the top rope.
That shit sucks. That shit
But-
blows.
Why do you think she doesn't do it no more?
I'd
Mercedes
rather watch
Moné
a
coming back.
blockbuster. I'd rather watch Mr. Ass hit a blockbuster 1,000 times than see the goddamn Bailey to
Do you
belly
not
one more
like the
fucking time,
blockbuster?
bro. The blockbuster is just such an move. Like it's not good.
Her coming back compared
not
to
the move I
Trinity,
think
who has
of?
gone to Impact Wrestling, won the Women's Championship, has put on great matches against Deonna Purrazzo. I believe she's faced Mickie James. She has faced Jordan Grace. She has gone through the women's division, lost, and had amazing matches through that. Mercedes Moné has only shown up for a paycheck to all these different matches and has been gifted wins all the way through. Is the only feeling I can get from it. It's what happened with New Japan, and then she just kind of got injured, and where has she been since? She's been absolutely nowhere, because no company sees anything with signing her. Trinity hits free agency, AEW may try taking her, WWE could try taking her again. I just don't see anything with her coming too. She's not a CM Punk like she may think she is. She's not a hot commodity in the free agency realm. In my opinion. Maybe that is the worst opinion, but in my opinion, she's not a hot commodity. I think when Jordan Grace hits the scene, that one will be a hot commodity. Deonna Purrazzo? Absolutely. Trinity? Absolutely. I can't see her being... I can't... I don't see her signing back with WWE.
Well, talking about hot commodities, let's switch over to CM Punk's former employer, All Elite Wrestling, where their major commodity is legitimately hurt. MJF. He's hurt, but we don't know what it is because he sent out a tweet where he said he had a torn labrum, but he was still defending the belt, and then he quickly took the tweet down. All we know is that he does have a legitimate injury, and he is going to work through it and get treatment, but we don't know what the injury is exactly. Some people have said hip. Some people still think it's a torn labrum. I don't know. All we know for sure is that MJF is shoot hurt, and he's going to continue to try and battle through it. But where does this leave his title hopes at World's End? I think this is where it probably ends. I said this before, and I'm starting to believe it a little more now. I think they finally pulled the trigger on Joe being the biggest piece of shit in AEW history.
I'm ready for the devil. Give me the devil.
Well, perfect segue. That's another talking point we have. Who's the devil? It's Jack Perry, obviously, but who's the devil?
I mean, probably, yeah. If that's who it is, fuck.
I think it's...
I give up on AEW at that point.
For me, it's 75-25. 75 Jack Perry, but 25 still thinks it's Adam Cole. And he's been faking this injury this entire time.
Well, Adam Cole was down at ringside and the devil didn't show up.
Yes, but if you see it...
But neither did
If you
demons.
watch, it looks like he reached into his pocket and clicked the button to activate everything. So I'm just saying, pro wrestling's been like that before.
Man was scratching his balls and Cliff thinks he's clicking buttons.
There's a difference. Your balls are in between your legs, Eli. If yours are outside of your legs, you'll be able to go consult your doctor.
You don't know how far he was reaching in that pocket.
My thing is, there is too much evidence for it not to be Jack Perry.
What evidence do you have? I'm just curious.
Jack Perry... Bro, do you not remember the whole Jack Perry MJF feud?
No.
Yeah, when he's literally like, hey, you need to be like me. Which in turn causes heel turn, and he was acting like the big bad booty daddy out there in the ring, you know, the genetic freak. And then here comes Hook, and he gets all scared. So he's not fully become that character yet. So then he goes, he loses the hook. Now he's fully become the devil like MJF told him he needed to be in order to become
Can you
successful.
imagine how loud the boos are going to be if it turns out he actually is the devil? You imagine that?
Bro,
Oh,
he
it'll
is. He is the devil.
It'll be deafening. You think
But with all the
Dominic's bad?
talks of new signings, and people leaving companies, QT Marshall finally put in his official resignation, and I think this is a lot bigger hit than you guys listening, or maybe you two might. Oh, you two are pretty wise.
I was a
But
QT lover,
this-
my guy.
No.
This man followed
This
him
is a
to
bigger
AAA.
hit than you guys probably realize.
Yeah.
Because not only was he a wrestler, he was VP, he was a trainer, he had all these other roles. He was creative.
He
And
also
now he's
ran
gone.
like the academy, the
Nightmare
AEW
Factory's
academy.
gone.
Yeah, but QT has his own wrestling school. That he was a pandemic
Dustin
hero.
may be
But, like-
on his way out.
But like for AEW itself, I think this is a lot bigger hit that they did not need right now. The man who pretty much did everything behind the scenes that they asked him just up and leaves. Like one of your main trainers here at AEW is just gone now. And you already didn't have a very good rep with training people to begin with. Example, Jade Cargill. So I'm just saying, like, you're taking this I'm gonna say power
Yeah.
plant because that's what the WCW called it. You're pretty much taking this power plant and you're taking one of the key things out of it and developing all this young talent that you supposedly have. One of your few shining spots in that entire power plant. What are you gonna do?
Well, there was a thing that came out with an interview with Tony Khan where he said, I legally can't speak about the CM Punk signing with WWE. I think there's a few other things with the Punk, with Jade, with QT, that there's going on behind the scenes that we may not know has happened or is happening. So there's some shit going on before 2024 is even hit. That they got Will Ospreay.
Bro, they
Who
got
have they
Ospreay
lost
and
to get Will Ospreay?
and Ibushi.
Okay, but who did they lose to get that? Because that's big money, people. You can't. And Mr. I'm never going to release anybody because he loaded his deck. He's paying for it. Because now it's too loaded and he has to lose some of his cards that he's got. And we're seeing the trickle effect that happened with WCW, that happened with TNA, what happened with ROH. That
You had
Big
me,
Daddy
and you lost
WWE.
me.
ROH had Punk, AJ, Daniel, Joe, and some legendary
I
wrestlers
think that was
who
more of
went
a
to
thing of
TNA.
them just
Yeah.
moving on. I don't think that was more so ROH letting them go.
So
ROH was nowhere near the level that AEW is at right now.
so you
Like
have
that very much so was a stepping stone for a lot of people.
So you have, leave it at TNA and all them. You have these people who went, and they're following the same pattern too. They're hiring
I'm
out
gonna say I'm
old
not
legends.
disagreeing with you. I'm just saying I don't think ROH deserves to be lumped into that.
They're hiring old legends now. Ric Flair and Sting, who I still think are going to have Sting's final match.
I
I
don't.
think it's still going to be Flair and Sting because Flair still wants to have that final match. I think we're getting
He's already
had, like,
He's already
six
had
final
like
matches,
9 of
bro.
those.
Exactly. So did Terry Funk.
Hey,
Hey,
but-
them bitches were
exactly.
good though.
Terry Funk
I'm
knew
not
how to
shitting
wrestle.
on it, but he had a lot of final matches.
Return of the Funker, damn it.
So we have this thing where AEW is slowly, and maybe quicker than the other companies did, has done everything they could within that time period, thinking that they were untouchable. And they brought in a bunch of people on paychecks that they could not cash. And now we've hit the point of, you got to get rid of some of your mainstay people. Do we get to the point where we eventually see potentially
What did
some of the original AEW people besides Cody leave in QT? Do you see the Young Bucks leave? Do you see Omega leave? Chris Jericho? All these different people potentially leaving this company because it's not the way originally AEW was, which it's not. It's not.
Yeah, because it's not All Friends Wrestling anymore.
It's no longer anything that was originally supposed to be, and now we have these. And this statement to me said a lot. There's shit happening behind the scenes that we don't know and can't know because they can't say anything about it. So now, who maybe else from AEW could show up at the Royal Rumble that Tony Khan can't say? What has happened that we don't know?
I'm just saying,
Before
we're talking
2024
an awful lot
Well,
of we're talking a lot of doom and gloom for this company. Like, come on now.
Well, I mean, there's not a lot to write home about right now. They have the occasional really, really good match. They have the really, really good premium live events, but their ratings are all over the place. They're nowhere near where they used to be, and they want to try and be competitive to WWE, but they're getting beat out week in and week out. Like their demographic, 18 to 49 demographic rating. You know, ratings, they're a fucking shit show. I'm going to do my best to try and relay it the best way I can. So, like, you're seeing these weeks where they're up 200,000 viewers from the last week, and they drop 127 of those going into the next week. You have a 0.31 in your demographic rating, and it tanks to a 0.24. And then, not only that, 3 weeks in a row, their demo was 0.28, 0.28, 0.26, but overall, they were losing massive amounts of viewers. They lost 129,000, 55,000, 191,000 within the span of 3 weeks, and that is just after the week before. So the week of September 27th, they were down 129,000 viewers from the week before. October 4th, they were 55,000 down from the week before that. So they are roughly 180 in the hole. After that, they drop 100. They drop over damn near 200,000.
That was also the head-to-head with NXT. So you can't exactly, hold that.
Don't try to go head-to-head with WWE then. How these motherfuckers not learned this yet?
Well, you know what?
How have they not learned this yet?
You know what has started WWE trying to push them down? They took shots at two WWE mainstays. Tony Khan did, personally. Took shots at The Undertaker and John Cena. That is a no-no that no other company has done.
Well, not only that, you want to
put respect on Undertaker's name. And you don't disrespect John Cena, who has helped carry their company. Along with Undertaker, who has helped carry their company. And you shit on both of them? That was dumb to do in the first place.
Well, you want to know something that's really fucking dumb? Trying to go head-to-head with one of WWE's premier, like one of their big 4 premium live events now, with your free weekly TV shows and a 3-hour block. That I don't get at all.
Shibata,
I love Tony Khan. AEW's great. It's a great alternative. But what... The decision, I said this last week, AEW needs to just take a step back and reevaluate what they're doing, because whatever they're doing is not working. Why are they trying to go head-to-head with a WWE pay-per-view?
Because they have to put something out on
Collision.
Saturday per the contract.
That's fine, but why not just do Collision like you normally do on Saturdays, and then Rampage Friday night? Why switch it up? Just because there's a WWE event that just makes it look worse on you. It's not making you look like an alternative. It's making you look like a lesser company. Because you're doing all this to try and combat. You're doing all this to try and combat what WWE is doing, and you're not going to do that. I don't understand. It is the same fucking story and tale. I don't understand why these startup companies, AEW's not really a startup, but fucking bear with me. Why these startup pro wrestling companies think they can try and take down WWE or beat them. The only one that's got close was WCW. And that was over 30 years ago.
Well, I think,
come on.
I think AEW kind of got, and I mean, I said it a couple of times on the podcast. AEW and all rights and everything. AEW, when it started, looked like it was going to be WCW. At the beginning, it looked like it was going to be mainstay competition against WWE. They helped move NXT to Tuesday. And being an NXT fan of the NXT they destroyed, yeah, they beat the shit out of NXT. During COVID. We are no longer in COVID. Knocking on a wood tray here. Because fuck that shit. We have hit the point where people are kind of looking at it. WWE's able to travel around again to all these different places. We are seeing a WWE we have not seen in a while. With Triple H, Khan, and TKO.
We're seeing a WWE we haven't seen ever.
What we're seeing a lot of, and I said it last night, the other night of the pay-per-view, I don't like feeling how old I do with all of these, like Randy Orton coming back, CM Punk, John Cena. I mean, people are making jokes about Batista coming back. Like, that one...
Please stay gone,
that
Dave.
makes me feel a little bit... like,
I honestly wouldn't mind one more Batista run.
We had that, and then
over
you
a decade
guys
since CM Punk
ruined it with Blue Batista jokes. We had
Like,
our one Dave comeback.
Batista left because he had his Hollywood career still. He wanted to try it. And it was successful. It's been successful. He's had some really good movies. As solo and in the MCU. This is an era of WWE moving forward that is going to rival the likes of Raw is War. In my opinion, as of right now, it's going to rival Raw is War. It's going to rival the Ruthless Aggression era. AEW doesn't have anything like that. AEW seems to be on a downward slope, and they can't keep the passengers in. The passengers are jumping off of it. Out of the car, out of the van, off the roller coaster, whatever you want to do. They're jumping. And as I stated a little bit earlier, I think Dustin's going to be leaving here soon. So you don't only lose the Nightmare Factory, you also lose Dustin's wrestling school. You're down 2 wrestling schools now. Technically 3, because the Nightmare Factory had 2 different separate locations. I think 1 in Georgia, 1 in Florida. They're losing wrestlers, potentially, that you don't know about, because you're paying out money for Ospreay, you're paying out money for Omega, you're paying out money for Bucks, you're paying out money for Jericho, you're paying out money for MJF, you're paying out money for all these different names, and you're paying out money for legends, Ric Flair, Edge, Sting, Christian, that... What happened to TNA and WCW when they started doing this stuff?
Everything they're doing right now with
Edge is running
patriarchy.
AEW? Absolutely not. No.
What?
No. No. I've
We
not
don't
liked
have
it. The
time.
best
We
thing
don't
that's
have
come
time
out
to
of
get
it was
into
the
that.
Nick Cage concerto.
We have all the time to get into that.
So you just don't watch the product,
I
then,
don't.
do you?
I watched the product. It's just not anything. Christian Cage beat Luchasaurus for the TNT Championship. What could have been a major turning point in a singles career for Luchasaurus, we see him hand the belt and nothing happened. what could have been potentially major for Luchasaurus, momentum dies. Nick Wayne, I think is his name.
Yes.
Yeah. I don't know enough about him. I really don't. Watching the product and everything else, I don't know enough about him. I wish I did. I wish I could say something about him. The best thing I've seen from him is getting concertoed by Edge in front of his mom. That was entertaining. It's just... Yeah, great. Christian Cage is pulling off a role where he takes a bunch of people who don't have dads, or do have dads, but kayfabe don't, and is being their father and looking at the mom and saying, your husband was a deadbeat or is dead now and he's glad he's dead. What the fuck?
And people boo him.
This is what you're doing with the former NWA and World Champion.
WWE treated him any better.
That is the cheapest way to get a... What the fuck are you talking about?
They treated him like shit. They treated him like a secondhand toy.
I'm sorry. He was one of the better mid-card wrestlers, tag team wrestlers. He had multiple different main event pushes in ECW along with the World Championship between Mark Henry and Randy Orton.
Okay.
Also had
you want to know who else held
matches
the WWE
all the way
ECW
through his
Championship?
career.
Ezekiel Jackson.
Did he ever hold the World Championship? No. He was a main card contender, and that's what he's remembered as. Go through Christian Cage's accolades, WWE, TNA, everything. And then look at his AEW. What has he done? Make fun of Perry for his father dying? Look at Nick Wayne's mom and say he's glad that his dad's dead? Beat Luchasaurus? The most entertaining mid-card championship on AEW right now is the International belt.
And I know how much you
They've got me
physically
to that
despise that belt.
They've got me to that point.
That's crazy for Eli
They
to say.
have me to that
Well,
point.
I'm
crazy
sorry
for
that
you
I
to
actually
say.
enjoy, good character work. So, I'm sorry I like it. I'm sorry that he's playing a character that I can enjoy
And
watch.
maybe-
And it's not my fault you don't like it. So don't just admit you don't like it
It doesn't...
and quit shitting on it.
Well, you quit shitting on CM Punk then.
I'm gonna say, do we want to go back a little bit to when you were just completely
Am I still
obliterating
shitting on CM
here,
Punk at
or-
the moment? No. Could I rant about it for another 20 minutes? Probably. But I'm not gonna.
And you would be wrong.
You asked the
because
question, I gave an
It
answer.
doesn't make sense.
You asked about the patriarch. We said
That
I
is
answered.
true. You did kind of
I've
ask
given
him,
an answer.
and he
Yes,
did kind of
but
answer.
his answer is dumbing it down to the point where it's 2 points that he just is talking about. Not talking about the fact of just really good character work that we don't get to see anywhere else. What's another character
What's it
that's
done
as
for
good
Nick
as that?
Wayne and Luchasaurus?
Giving them a place on the card,
Okay,
on
moving on
TV
to Christian
every
Cage.
week,
What's it done?
getting them on TV,
Oh, wow. And
getting
do they
eyes
win
on
those
their
matches?
product.
Do they gain momentum?
Yes.
Do they gain any momentum? Do they win those matches? No. What is Nick Wayne building towards? Besides a hospital bed
He's learning from
and early retirement.
he's learning from someone at the tail end of their career how to be a wrestling character.
Okay, that's great, but he doesn't have to do it in the way they're doing it with him.
All right. I'm putting my foot down. All right. I'm tired of hearing about Christian Cage. No one has ever talked about Christian Cage this much. All right, we'll put a stop to it now. You two can figure this out later. We still do have a show to do, and we still have at least one more bullet point that we need to cover, which is
Eli's already talked so
specialty,
much tonight.
But I know. Give me a second. That's why I said I was going to read off the standings and have him give a brief synopsis, since you two wanted to argue about the patriarchy for 15 minutes. I actually don't know how long it was. It felt like forever. All right, so World Tag League. It's pretty much what it sounds like. It's a giant tag team tournament with some thrown together teams, some not thrown together teams. Correct, Eli? You gave me a look like I was...
Yeah, one of the tag teams pisses me off.
Oh.
That's the only reason.
Well, in the A block, you got Shane Haste and Mickey Nichols, who are 3-0 with 6 points. Shota Umino and Ren Narita, they're second, 2-1, 4 points. 3-way tie for second. You got Alex Coughlin and Gabe Kidd. 2-1, 4 points. Kaito Kiyomiya.
Fuck face.
Kiyomiya.
New Japan Pro Wrestling. You can continue.
And
Oh, I love this. Eli, keep going. This is great.
Riley Oiwa.
Mm-hmm.
Also tied for second, 4 points. Evil and Yujiro Takahashi at 1 and 2, 2 points. Tomohiro Ishii and Toru Yano, 1 and 2, 2
Amazing
points.
tag.
Great-O-Khan and Hanair. Huh?
That one's an amazing tag. Ishii and Yano. Two of my favorite people from Chaos.
Great-O-Khan and Hanair, 1 and 1, 2 points. Bishop Khan. Is it still pronounced Khan?
Yeah.
Just spelled different? Why'd they spell it different?
I don't know. I really don't.
Whatever. Bishop Khan and Toa Leona. 0 and 3, 0 points. Moving on to Block B, you got Taichi.
Eli, your face was perfect.
What? What are you making a face for?
Former world champions. 0 points.
I was ready to say I was going to go through the entire standings here, and then you can go down and break down what you want to. So in B block, you got Taichi and oh my god, Yuya Uemura.
Close enough.
3-0, 6 points. Lance Archer and Alex Zane, which I've seen a lot of this tag team actually. They are really, really good together. 3-0, 6 points. Atlantis Jr. and Sobrano Jr. 2-1, 4 points. Yoda Tsuji and Zandakin Jr. 2-1, 4 points. Hikuleu and El Phantasmo 1-1, 2 points. Hiroki Goto and Yoshihashi 1-2, 2 points. And rounding out the bottom, both 0-3 with 0 points, are Badaluk Fale and Jack Bonza and Yuji Nagata and Minoru Suzuki.
Damn it!
What?
It's two legendary wrestlers teaming together who are absolute strong style to a T, but are like junior heavyweight division wrestlers in a world heavyweight tag tournament. And I wish they would be towards the top of the tournament. Straight up.
Why?
Straight up wish they were the top of the tournament. Because they're amazing. It's Minoru Suzuki and Yuji Nagata, two legendary Japanese wrestlers who in their own right have been amazing in singles career. Putting that together should absolutely be amazing, and instead it's just completely been two different directions. What's that look for, Cliff?
I just saw the last line of Punk's promo on Raw.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I haven't seen anything about it, so
You're fine.
don't spoil it.
Not good. But I want to go over my favorite block, which has been freaking B block, with Hiroki Goto, Yoshihashi, Nagata, Suzuki, Hikuleo, Phantasmo, Taichi, Umura, Tsuji. Don't know who the hell that guy is, or these two other guys, the junior trio. Lance Archer, Alex Zane, Fale, and whoever Bonza is.
So that's where Lance Archer is
Australian, New Zealand dude. Yeah.
Yeah, Lance Archer's been cooking
good.
in New Japan.
Good.
Fucking great. The B block is full of tag teams who have kind of been, or wrestlers in general, who have, besides Atlantis and Sobrano, who I don't know who they are, Zendankin, don't know who that is, and Jack Bonza, who is a trained wrestler underneath Fale. It's been a block full of either tag team experience or singles experience, and it has been exactly what I thought it was going to be. It has been really good matches, and it's been some of the most hard-hitting matches they've had in this tournament, and I've enjoyed every single second of the B block. I'm going to keep saying the B block, and then why it's my favorite, because of all these wrestlers, because I don't want to go to the A block, because I hate one of the tag teams in the A block, because my God, I don't like him in New Japan. I want him out.
Well, how about you talk about that, and we can throw it to our end of show gimmicks.
Yes, you have to. Champ said you have to.
Talk about him, and we're going to the end of the show. End of show.
The A block is Shota Umino and Ren Narita, who I've not been silent on shitting on either one of them. Absolutely. Umino looks like Tanahashi, but wants to wrestle like Okada. I look at a picture of him during this tournament, and he looks like he's trying to cosplay as Hiroshi Tanahashi. During one of the interviews and matches I watched of him, Shota Umino, I thought it was Tanahashi standing in the ring. He has the dyed hair, the tights, everything. It looks like Tanahashi, just younger.
Oh God, it does.
My
God, it does.
TMDK has been top-notch through this whole tournament. I love it. I was a big fan of theirs when they came into NXT. I wish they would have been amazing on the main roster. And then coming to Japan, I thought they were going to be a joke because they've not gotten a lot of wins, and they've moved into amazing territory with these wins, continuously being undefeated. Okan Hanea, I never expected anything out of him. I don't think anybody did. United Empire has kind of fallen apart with Will going to AW along with Aussie Open. I think all of them will end up over there, but who knows? I don't think United Empire is going to be very united for much longer. Tomohiro Ishii and Yano. Yano's a joke character to begin with. Ishii is a serious guy. It's like having R-Truth with Brock Lesnar as a tag team. It's it's one of the weirdest things ever.
Just saying.
It clicks so well. It's one of my favorite things to watch. Alex Coughlin and Gabe Kidd have been, since joining Bullet Club, have been a force to be reckoned with in the tag division, and they are showing it throughout the tournament. They've shown it. I think once Tokyo Dome hits, they will have a tag team championship match. I just don't know what titles.
We have
either the Strong or the Wolf.
We have 8 matches already announced for the Tokyo Dome, guys. I'm so ready.
Yeah.
I mean, it's always a giant show, and it's just around the corner,
only a month away.
And it's only one night this time, too.
2 nights, yeah. They're going back to the 2-night thing, right?
Evil and Yujiro. Nope, it's one night.
No.
It's only one night. Evil and Yujiro have been... Yeah, that's a thing. Bishop Khan and Toa Leona are from the Swerve Strickland thing, and every time they lose, they apologize to Nana. Yeah, they apologize and then hit something in the back. And then you have...
I swerve when I drive.
Uwa and Fuckface. Look, New Japan, love you. I love what you're trying to do for the New Japan and Japanese wrestling scene, but stop fucking pulling this dude in. He doesn't mesh.
Who?
He's not good. No one likes him.
Are you even still talking about the dude I told you to talk about?
Kaido?
Or are you just going on another tangent?
Kaido? That's who I'm talking about, is Kaido, who is... I don't...
Well, I think you've gotten enough out tonight. I think this was a massive healing session for you. And if it goes not well on listeners, we know to keep a leash on you tight.
Cliff,
or if people like listening to the
and building it up.
Hey, I'm not the champ anymore, so I gotta create that chaos somehow. All right, Eli.
Cliff built me up.
Well, I was about to say, as far as into show gimmicks, I'm taking the week off once again. I'm champ. I get to celebrate. I left these two to their own devices to pick what they wanted. Eli said that he wanted a match of the week. I don't know what Cliff wants. He didn't say what he wanted. So, Eli, go ahead. It's your match of the week.
I was going to say one of the New Japan matches, because there's been a lot of good tag matches. that have happened. It's a tour, Japan. It's consistent matches. There's one tonight, one tomorrow night, throughout the whole week. Looking back at the pay-per-view that's happened, I was going to do the women's WarGames match. Was going to do it. I loved it. As much as Austin doesn't like the trash can spot, I love seeing a flying trash can because Io Shirai is 5'1" and doesn't.
It's
the
not
trash
that
can's
I don't
almost her
like
size.
the trash can spot. It's only that we see it every single year, dude.
Next season,
It's
next
stale.
year, she's gonna do a double axe handle from the top of the cage.
I say
From the
she
top of
like
the cage?
cuts holes in the trash can. She cuts holes in the trash can and then axe handles through the trash can.
Bob Boy a trash can.
Let me cook.
We need to get
let
some
me cook.
merch made of just the axe handle is the most deadly move in professional wrestling.
Most deadly letters in all of sports entertainment. AXE.
It's gotta make an axe handle.
God damn.
So
Anyway, what's your match of the week? You got?
I'm going to give it to Gunther.
Yes, I tracked.
It was a
There
Yes,
we go.
sir.
watching
He
back
sees
the
the
highlights and
vision.
stuff,
He sees the vision.
It was
He sees the
a
vision.
good match. Miz pulled out a
He
lot of
knows
his bag
ball.
of tricks, and it was maybe not a lot of the matches I like, style I like completely. Somebody changing, like Gunther changing up how he wrestles, and Miz kind of having to go into a deep bag. They pulled it off really well. Watching back the highlights tonight on Raw, it was good. I enjoyed it. It did what it needed to. I gotta give it its flowers.
Yes,
That's
sir.
a good one.
On a card where CM Punk returns, there's 2 WarGames matches. He chooses the Intercontinental Championship match, and I think that speaks volumes of Gunther and the elevation that he's done to this title, as well as Miz being an all-time great.
I like it.
Cliff, what's your
Always.
game?
All right,
You
we're
didn't
doing
even
guess
say
the
it.
wrestler. You each got one, and then you're doing the last one together. All right, champ,
Okay.
1 or 2? 2?
2.
All right. So, here we go. Absolute Intense Wrestling Gauntlet for the Gold, 1 time. All-American Wrestling Heavyweight Champion 2 times, and Tag Champion 1 time. American Championship Entertainment Diamond Division Champion 1 time. CBS Sports gave him Rookie of the Year and Smack Talker of the Year. Chikara? Yeah, Chikara. Grand Champion 1 time. 12 Large Summit. And the Tornero Chibernetico? Yeah. Tobernetico. Combat Zone Wrestling World Heavyweight Champion 1 time and World Tag Champion 2 time.
Wait, a little CZW signing?
Yep.
Is that what I heard?
DDT
Yes, sir.
Pro.
I'm actually about to show. that that most violent, inside America's Most Violent Wrestling Tournament. The Vice documentary that I've showed everyone, any chance I get. I'm showing that in class tomorrow. So
Nice.
I'm sure that everyone in my documentary class will absolutely love seeing someone have a gusset plate drove into their head. That's all I'm saying.
DDT Pro Wrestling Iron Heavy Middleweight Champion 1 time. Ego Pro Wrestling Heavyweight Champion 1 time. Evolve Tag Team Champion 1 time. Glory Pro Crown of Glory Champion 1 time. Independent Wrestling Association Mid-South Heavyweight Champion 1 time. And Tag Team Champion 2 times. And the Revolution Strong Style Tournament of 06. Jersey All Pro Wrestling New Jersey State Champ 1 time and Tag Team Champ 1 time. Maven Bentley Association Tag Team Champion 1 time and the Tag Team Championship Tournament in 05. New Japan Pro Wrestling Strong Openweight Champ 1 time. Pro Wrestling Illustrated ranked him 40 in the top 500. ROH World Champ 1 time. Sports Illustrated ranked him number 10 of the top 10. Top Rope Promotions Heavyweight Champ 1 time. Wrestling Observer Newsletter gave him Best on Interviews and Feud of the Year. World Star Wrestling Federation Heavyweight Champion 1 time. And ICWA Tex Arcana Television Champion 1 time. Yes,
This
that
could
is
be more fitting for Austin. If this is who I think it is. Cliff, I love you for this.
I definitely
need a
did
hint?
that. I got kind of lost there.
No.
This man has been in one Luchas de Apuestas, and that was in 2000. Let's see here. This man has been known as an independent wrestler for the majority of his time in professional wrestling. A list of promotions that he's wrestled in, not in any order. Combat Zone Wrestling, Independent, Mid-South, Chikara, Westside Extreme Wrestling for about 3 different times, Ring of Honor, Jersey Pro, All Pro Wrestling, Pro Wrestling Guerrilla, TNA, the National Wrestling Alliance, AEW, New Japan, and let's see here. What counts as other promotions? The Urban Wrestling Federation.
Chikara.
He did attempt to try. He was invited to the WWE Performance Center. And he was invited to the PC.
Yep.
He lost at House of Hardcore in a one-off appearance, and he lost at PCW Ultra Vision Quest.
This is exactly who I'm thinking of.
That doesn't help me at all.
That's a good hint.
That helps me
That's a really good hint, actually.
That's his career, man. There is no other hints he can give you.
Well, give me another one, because I'm going to need another one.
Is he Puerto Rican, Eli? No, he's not Puerto Rican. He was born to an Irish father and a Puerto Rican mother in Yonkers, New York.
What the fuck? Yeah. The fuck?
His very first professional wrestling ring name was Dragon.
Yeah.
He was trained by Kevin Knight, the Chikara Wrestle Factory, Mike Quackenbush, and Chris Hero. He made his debut in 2002 and is currently still wrestling.
Yep.
That PC one is what's fucking me up.
Nothing came of him being invited, but he
was
invited.
I can tell you that much.
He was invited.
He wasn't
he's
even
been a member of quite a few stables, actually. In Chikara,
one of your favorite stables, actually.
Blackout in Chikara, one of his favorite stables. You can say that one, Eli. I would have to find that one. Oh yeah, he was in LAX. That's a good one. Yeah, he was.
Oh my,
he was in
LAX?
LA. He was in the Latin American Exchange.
Yeah.
So.
Homeboy from LAX.
He's in LAX. He's in LAX, but he's from Yonkers, New York.
Hell yeah. Don't you know you just have to have a foreign mom?
God. Yeah. Let's see here.
I think Selena Vega was in LAX at one point.
Yeah. He was in the DCC? If you were a fan of 2016, 2017 TNA.
Oh, I forgot about that. That was James Storm.
He's been in a Necro Butcher Rules match.
No. Yes, he was. Against Necro Butcher himself, wasn't it?
Necro I can
Butcher
give you some
won.
of the people he's tagged with.
Nope.
I can't?
No.
Okay.
Man, I'm lost.
I've given you as much information.
Tag is too much. Tag is too much of a hit.
I've given you as much information as I can.
Especially one of the more current tags he's done. Nah.
Bro's from Yonkers, New York.
Is he billed from Yonkers, New York?
This is
I'll
wild.
give you that hint.
He's from New York. I think he's billed from Bronx or Brooklyn.
It doesn't say where he's billed from, but he was born in Yonkers, New York.
Pretty sure it's Brooklyn.
Well, it should say
it does
on
not
Wikipedia
say. It says
where
build
they're
height, build weight, but it doesn't say build
I'll do you one better. I will do you one better. Cody Rhodes loves this guy.
That doesn't hurt.
All right, Eli, we gotta stop helping him. We gotta let the champ fail.
I love this. I'm enjoying this.
Me too, honestly. I'm happy he picked this one. I'm happy he got it, not you, Eli.
I would have got it immediately with Chikara.
Yeah.
I had to know that for
I didn't know what Shikara was.
T
so-
and Johnny.
Read off the championships again.
Oh,
Not all of them,
God.
just the ones you think that might help
Combat
me.
Zone World Heavyweight Champion 1 time, World Tag Champion 2 time, Iron Heavy Metalweight Champion 1 time, Ring of Honor World Champion 1 time.
All right, so you wouldn't give me Hernandez. You wouldn't give me Homicide. You
That's
would not
false.
give me that. Cody Rhodes loves
Strong
this guy.
Openweight Champion,
So
Homicide was in Shakura.
All American Wrestling Heavyweight Champion.
Cody Rhodes loves this guy.
Mm-hmm.
So that means he was probably in AEW.
Cliff
What
said he was in
AEW members
AEW.
were-
Yeah, I did. Yeah.
Did he? Oh, well, that makes it a lot easier. So what LAX members? Santana and Ortiz were part of LAX.
Yep.
But they aren't billed from Yonkers because I would know
I don't
Yonkers.
know if he's billed from
That's
Yonkers.
false.
But that's where he was born.
He's never been billed from Yonkers in his career. I can 100% tell you that.
Really?
Correct.
Oh my god.
That's just where he was born. Actually, it does say that's where he's billed
Why
from.
do I?
It does say that is where he is billed
I
from,
thought it
Eli.
just said. I thought it was just New York, or like Bronx or
What? So
Brooklyn.
this is definitely someone who was in that era of TNA after they switched to Impact and LAX just had way too many members.
It was still a 6-sided ring,
Was it?
especially
he
when
was
it
in
was
in
on
2016,
DCC.
Eli?
When DCC was around, I do believe so.
Oh, yeah, because they brought it back.
I think it was when they were switching out of it to going into it.
Oh, he's got a brain cell. He's got a thought.
He's got it. He's got it.
Is this fucking Eddie Kingston, bro?
You guessed Eddie Kingston for yourself.
He got brought in by Cody Rhodes. His first match in AEW was against Cody Rhodes.
Yeah,
Cody Rhodes built him up.
Yeah, I know all that now. The LAX thing was throwing me off because he was such like a minuscule part of it, and the only reason I remember it is because he had a run in TNA later, like when it was Impact, and the only like really good match he had
versus
was
the OGs.
LAX versus Lucha Bros.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
All right, Eli.
Well, there was a match with him and someone else versus Lucha Bros, I think. Or maybe it was like a 3v3 or whatever it was, but holy fuck.
Ready, Eli?
Oh, not really, if that's what Austin had thrown at him.
Cauliflower Alley Club, Jason Sanderson Humanitarian Award, Men's Wrestling Award, George Tragos Luthez Professional Wrestling Hall of Fame, Frank Gotch Award. He was given Feud of the Year 1 time, Most Hated Wrestler of the Year 1 time, Most Improved Wrestler of the Year 1 time. He was ranked number 4 in the top 500 singles wrestlers twice, believe it or not. He got the same ranking twice, and was ranked number 65 of the top 500 singles wrestlers of the PWI years. Swiss Wrestling Federation Heavyweight Champion 1 time. WCW World Heavyweight Champion 3 times. World Television Champion 1 time. United States Heavyweight Champion 2 times. World Tag Team Champion 4 times. He was a WCW Triple Crown. World Wrestling Federation European Champion 1 time. Tag Team Champion 1 time. And is in the Hall of Fame. Wrestling Observer Newsletter gave him the Best Wrestling Maneuver, Most Improved, and Worst Gimmick. And that's it.
So he's a 3-time WCW World Heavyweight Champion.
Yes.
1-time television.
And he's in the
4-time tag.
WCW Hall of Fame?
Hall of Fame. The WWE Hall of Fame.
He's in the WWE Hall of Fame. More than likely in WWE, not WWF.
Oh, yeah.
1-time world champion in WWE?
Nope.
No, European.
champion.
Oh, this is easy. I know who this is now.
The champ's excited.
That's so easy. That's so easy.
I have
Eli,
a few ideas,
Don't.
but I don't like the ideas coming to my mind.
Don't. He's got to blow his
I don't
hints
like the
before we start
ideas
helping
coming to
him.
my mind.
Because there's good hints I can give him.
I don't like the ideas. I'm picturing the European title picture, and I don't like the pictures coming to my mind here.
Do you need a hint, Eli?
Give me a hint, Cliff.
Alrighty, here's his filmography.
Give me a hint.
Oh
God.
First Daughter, Rat Race, Nice Guys, Devil's Rejects, technically was in the 40-year-old version, but his scene was deleted. Jack's Law, Ready to Rumble, Hood of Horror.
Bro, that Devil's Rejects hint is so
Splinter,
hint.
Driftwood, Night Fever, Sensory Perception, Pizza Man, Gallows Walker, Vengeance, The Murders of Brandywine Theater, The Resurrection of Jake the Snake, The Bet, The Guardians of Justice, High Heat, and Homestead.
What did you say about Jake the Snake?
He was in a documentary about Jake the Snake.
So
he has to be older.
Yeah, he was just in one of the documentaries.
Older.
For some reason, I short circuited.
That European was what.
Do me a favor. Go look at that filmography and click on that documentary again, if you're able to. Like if it takes you to the Wikipedia page.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Not me. I'm not on it.
Who's the director of that?
Director? Steve Yu.
Oh, Austin's on a search now. Give me your other hint. You said you had two good
this
hints.
came out in 2015. Never mind.
Filmography. Yeah, that's when he did the DDP yoga stuff.
This man was in both. This man was in a lot of video games. All the WCW games, Virtual Pro Wrestling, Showdown, Legends of Wrestling, SmackDown, Shut Your Mouth, and then every WWE game from 13 all the way to 2K19.
19's a weird cutoff.
Let's see here. He has released several autobiographies. He's been... I'm just running down the list. He's legally changed his name. He's been married and divorced 3 times and has several daughters.
So, legally changed his name. That means he has had several daughters. What the fuck?
This man...
3-time WCW World Heavyweight Champion. WCW Tag Champion 4 times. 1-time WWE Tag Champion. European Champion.
He was trained by Jake Roberts.
United States twice. DDP was never Tag Champion, did he? Unless he was. I feel like Austin's trying to give me a hint here and I don't understand it.
That is a massive hint.
Oh, I do.
Cliff gets it. Because he knows.
Oh, I know.
I have D-Lo bouncing around in my head.
Has he used both of his hints yet?
Yeah,
so
I've used both my hints.
You're free to start helping
He
him,
has?
Yeah.
Hey, his WCW theme was a crazy ripoff of another song. Absolutely foul ripoff. As if that wasn't half of the WCW songs, but his is one of the main...
Because now Raven comes to my head, but Raven's not even in the Dirty Hall of Fame.
I didn't know he was in High Heat.
Fuck it. DDP.
That is correct.
I didn't know he was tag team with WWE. Who was he tag team champion with in WWE?
He won the tag team champion in WWE with Chris Kanyon.
Oh yeah, that explains a lot.
All right, you guys ready for the difficult one?
I guess.
DDT Pro Wrestling,
sure.
Iron Man Heavy Metalweight Champion 1 time, Indie Wrestling Hall of Fame, Pro Wrestling Guerrilla Tag Champ 1 time, Pro Wrestling Illustrated ranked him number 334 of the top 500 wrestlers, and he was the best television announcer from the Wrestling Observer newsletter. And that's it.
Is that
Fuck
it?
you.
Yeah, go ahead and run me through that when we're done.
DDT Pro Iron Man Heavy Metalweight Champion 1 time, Indie Wrestling Hall of Fame, Pro Wrestling Guerrilla Tag Champion 1 time, ranked number 334 of the top 500 wrestlers, best television announcer from the Wrestling Observer newsletter.
Okay, so television. Think of television. Think of Pro Wrestling Guerrilla, and think of, because there's no WWE thing here, so it's not Corey Graves, it's not Pac, it's not Ciampa, it's not Gargano. Gargano wasn't in Pro Wrestling Guerrilla. It's not Kevin, it's not Adam, it's not the Young Bucks. ACH isn't commentary. I'm running through the roster. Kyle O'Reilly, no. Bobby Fish is not. Roderick Strong's not.
Bro, that's crazy.
Kingston is not.
I'm not gonna lie. I wasn't listening to the accomplishments again, so
Pro
go
Wrestling
ahead and run them
Guerrilla.
off one more time.
Okay. DDT Pro,
I got a text.
Iron
on
Man
it.
Heavy Metalweight Champion one time, Indie Wrestling Hall of Fame,
Okay, that doesn't matter.
Pro Wrestling Guerrilla Tag Champion one time. Pro Wrestling Illustrated ranked him number 334 of the top 500 wrestlers, and he was the best television announcer given to him by the Wrestling Observer newsletter.
You're not gonna put you with that.
You know what's crazy? We have another
Best announcer.
Chikara sighting.
So announcer as in like commentator or
the
like ring
award
announcer?
just
That's
says
what I'm
best television
thinking is-
announcer.
Commentator. But announcer.
But wouldn't it be best commentator?
I
though,
don't.
And not
I don't know.
Announcer?
I don't know how.
Well, what?
Well,
what
look into it,
award
dude.
did-
This is supposed to be yours.
What
This-
award did Jim Ross win? Because Jim Ross won one of those.
This award is mostly won by people who are on the desk, such as
Okay,
Mike
so
Tenay,
my brain
Matt
immediately goes
Stryker,
to Excalibur.
Kevin Kelly. You know, people like
Because he
that.
was a wrestler before he was. Kevin Kelly was never.
That's
Excalibur was a wrestler
That's not a
before
bad poll. He
has
was in
one of the-
PWG. I do remember that.
He's on television. Because PWG, you think Kevin?
we haven't used
no,
any
you
hints
haven't.
yet, right?
No.
I say we throw Excalibur out there. I think that's a good poll. He was in
Excalibur.
PWG for sure. He for sure said the N-word on video. It's documented.
Yeah.
That was
Alright,
going to be one of the
Excalibur.
hints. That was going to be one of the hints.
It's Excalibur, bro.
I have too many PWG people in my brain, man.
Yeah, no.
Well, PWG was
PWG
crazy.
in the mid 2000s was nutty.
I was
Yeah,
waiting for
it's-
Cliff to
it-
say something about how many names I was dropping off.
It's Excalibur. The other
'Cause
people
I
who have
was-
won
I
that
was
award,
dropping
by the
them
way,
all.
are crazy. You have Jim Ross, who basically won it whenever he wanted to, and they have
Mhm.
Excalibur, and Matt Stryker won it one time.
Yep.
And Jim Ross when he wasn't spouting utter just
Yeah.
bullshit. When he was actually calling what was happening and not just
Barbecue sauce.
talking about whatever you wanted to
Talking
talk
about
about.
his barbecue sauce.
Talking about the
Book
Oklahoma Sooners.
podcast?
Boomer Sooner.
Oklahoma.
Bro probably just ate one too many lariats. He's fine.
He ate corn the long way with Goldberg once.
No, not
For
corn the
real.
long way.
Jim Ross. Jim Ross eats corn the long way.
Bro, take that sign to the next
Oh, we're
wrestling
never
event we
getting-
go to.
Jim
JR
Ross
eats
eats
corn the
corn
long way.
the long way.
That's one of the best insults.
Ugh.
And it's just fallen off the wayside because it was a fucking WCW
Now, somebody needs
thing.
to have the woods. Somebody has to have the woods, and then a picture of corn, and then Jim Ross with his mouth open, and the corn has to be going to Jim Ross' mouth. We have to get it to where the camera cuts away from us because it looks inappropriate.
Like the Goldberg
That's how-
picture.
Like the Goldberg picture, yeah. Oh, God.
Well, I'm not
Lariat
gonna
us
lie.
home like Gunther pulled out last night or during the pay-per-view.
We got
PLE.
we
had
got
a good old Stan Hansen lariat there.
we got 34 days until the wildest year of professional wrestling history starts, and I'm not gonna lie. The end of this year, if it's setting it up, oh god, next year is gonna be fucking nutty.
We haven't even hit the end of the year yet. And
It's so crazy. It's overlapping into
We
the other
gotta-
years.
For real. And if you are... I was trying to figure out how I want to do this. I'll do this. Make sure you love yourselves, love each other. It's been a while since I've done the outro,
Yeah.
so I'm a little rusty. Nowhere near as bad as Cliff, though.
Let me talk.
So make sure you love yourselves. You done enough talking, so has Eli. So let's go ahead and send it home.
Hey Austin, what are you doing December
Make
2nd?
sure you love your
Oh no,
working.
Okay.
he's just teasing the cash in. Send it home.
Okay. Cool. All right. Make sure I gave him the chance. Make sure you love yourselves, love each other, and if you are by no means prepared for 2024, We got you covered because we're your ace in the hole. Catch you on down the road.
Yeah.
Yeah.